Good morning. The plagues are coming. We did a video last night, and I'm gonna show you this right here. It was late at night. I was talking on the phone, and it's these holes that are popping up all on the ground. This video last night. Are you seeing small holes in your yard? And this was late at night, but I would encourage you to go through the comment sections. I would. A lot of people are seeing these holes, and they're all over the place. People who haven't seen them in years and years and years. And they're not crawdad holes or crayfish holes, you know, because they pile their dirt up on their holes, and it's always like a wet area. And I'm not talking about my yard. I'm talking about on the West Coast. But if you read through the comments, there's people from all over the United States that are seeing them. And they're more than normal, and they're about that size. And they do kind of look like the size of a cicada hole. And you could say, well, Gina, honey, they could be, vole holes. Well, voles make their tunnels and stuff. But this is serious. There's lots of comments in there. And this is not supposed to be the year for the cicadas. It isn't, the locusts. Because the locusts are not supposed to come out until next year. Millions and millions and millions of locusts. The 13 year and the 17 year, and then they said there's something like a brood X. It's like they made some more locusts. But I was thinking about this, and I thought, well, there was like a plague of locusts. Good morning. Plague of locusts. Because if you look at the plagues that were in the biblical text, here's these 7 plagues: turning water to blood, frogs, lice or gnats, wild animals or flies, pestilence of livestock, boils, thunderstorms of hail, fire, etc., and locusts. Good morning. So when I saw the thing about locusts, yeah, they did have a plague of locusts back during, that time right there, during the Exodus or whatever. Plague of locusts. But then the boils, you all. When you think about the boils, that was a plague too. Boils in Exodus, they got boils all over their body. But then if you look here in the book of Revelation, the first angel went and poured out his bow on the land, and ugly and painful sores, you could say boils, they just need to put the word boil, broke out on the people who had the mark of the beast and worshipped his image. Then look, this is another plague. The second angel poured out his bowl on the sea, and it turned into blood. Well, that's one of the plagues here, turning the water into blood. It's like a repeat of what happened back then. If you think of Revelation and you kind of look at this right here, the pestilence and stuff like that, I'm sure you can find a whole lot of references you have. It's not the year of the locusts, but these locusts, when they come out, they cover the whole entire ground, and they eat all living vegetation. And the ground right now, we're going to experience like 100-year heat wave, more or less, for a few days. The ground is cracking, and we've got holes. You're at 5 a.m., Michael Martin in California. Did you go to bed? It's dry here. You had 6 weeks without rain. On the subject, thank you, Queenie. My hair was sticking up from the humidity, so I washed my face this morning and took that wash rag and put it on my head and flattened down my bed head and then blow dried it. So it's not so whatever from the humidity, but think about that. It's like the plagues are going to repeat. The plagues that happened way back then. And if that's the case, who was responsible for these? You know what the biblical text says about the plagues back then. Good morning, Mama Bear. And right here, like the same group. the ugly, painful sores breaking out on the people who had the mark. And the second angel poured his bow out onto the sea, and it turned into blood. They did it back then. They did it because the Pharaoh wouldn't let the people go. So this is what happened. All of that in the land of Egypt, the frogs and everything. Good morning, Vonda. Thank you for your comments. Under here, every time Vonda commented on this video from last night, right here, the Google algorithm stuck it in the held for review. Let's listen to what Vonda had to say. Where it's about the holes in the ground. Where, Gina, where I moved from, there were odd holes popping up everywhere. The whole property I lived on there for 25 years and never seen anything like it. I even had dreams I was going to be sunk in a sinkhole. Actually, a few dreams and visions that I had to pray the dreams away, and they were really odd. Thank you for bringing that up also. I was outside the other day, and I felt a strange heat wave coming from the ground. And my brother felt it too. He was at his shop door, and I was at the back door, and we thought it was very odd. Let me finish reading this. Because I'm seeing a lot of things through the comments. I'm hearing very loud noises, and it could be from cicadas, but they're not due. It's giving me very bad headaches. It won't let me sleep, and if I doze off, it wakes up even louder. It's like, yeah. I wanted to tell a couple years ago, there was a very high, strange wind. You all listen to this. A very strange high windstorm that passed through, and only my electric pole was uprooted. I took pictures, and the strangest thing was I saw in the picture dark spirits coming out of the ground right where the pole was mounted in the ground. That was around the time all my visions and dreams came flooding in, and I don't know what to think about all of this, knowing Jesus has our back and keeps me insane. It's been said that these entities, they use the electrical current, they use the frequencies, they travel like that. That's why you got to be very careful about a lot of these things you have. But the plagues, it's like the plagues are coming, and they are coming, really. If you think about this right here, and then you think about that, and the locusts are not due until, in mass, until next year, but they're happening now. It's like, if these holes in the ground ain't from locusts, then what is it from? And how can you have, like, feeling the heat coming up out of the ground? And it's like little bitty holes with, like, vents for the heats to come up out of the little holes in the ground with the cracks. Grand rising, you all. Oh, Queenie, honey, I don't like to. I studied those murals at the Denver airport, and they're so apocalyptic and very eerie looking. They're very dark and sinister. It's like a painted prediction of the future. There's lots of things out there. There really is. What am I looking at, Gina? Oh, yeah, you're looking at the cicadas, which would, you could say a cicada would be like a locust, because they do, or they could. Well, I hope we don't have the locusts coming out of the ground. Cicadas, they're not due. Oh, but more people are seeing them now. They even had it right there. They had the 13 and 17 year that came out. There are a bad brood of locusts, cicadas and locusts. And then, yeah, and locusts. Or you have the Japanese betas, regular emergence, 13 to 17 years. A locust, okay, a locust is a type of a grasshopper known for sometimes traveling in swarms and devouring life on a large scale. Cicadas are sometimes referred to as locusts. It's like the food supply. The food supply is going to be gone, really, if they So is it bad entities that are creating, you know, plagues and stuff like that? Are they taking the credit for something that is actually not coming from them, but from a higher power? Really? Because it could be. It could. You're in the Pearl River County, Mississippi, Vonda. Yes, 5G, it's sick to your stomach. CAOSU 2. Indianapolis has billboards saying, no, there's no way 10G could be here by now. If it's here by now, something really strange is going on. 10G is here. Somebody may be trying to scare us. 10G, because is here. Let me see that. Because that would be a powerful entity that need that. Oh, the Affinity 10G network. Okay. The Affinity 10G network will bring fiber-like speeds and perk to cable customers. Is 10G available in the U.S.? Well, NSA has the highest speeds. It does. We can't even get, no, see, get support 5G and shared plan 10G. I don't know what they're doing with that. I really don't, because that's the first I've heard of it. 10G is an initiative, okay, 10 gigabytes per second. We have 1 gigabyte upload. When they put the fiber optic in, they put it under the guise of having 1 gig. They make you think each customer gets 1 gig of upload and stuff like that, and download or something like that. But what they've done is they're splitting that 1 gig between 30 other customers. So that's what's happening. You're not getting your one. Right now, ours is like 90 and 250. We're not even get the whole 1 gig that we're paying for. Now, granted, if you have somebody using up, oh, hello, Applebrooks, honey. If you've got fiber optic, rest assured, you are sharing that with all these other customers. You're not getting your own individual thing of that. That's misleading. It is. And if you have something that's hogging up all that bandwidth, well, it's going to take away from the amount that's available for you, and it's going to drag, it's going to snag your internet big time. And we could have something else out there. You could, if they would go to 10G, something powerful needs that. It really does. But we got this plagues. The plagues are coming, turning the water into blood. And then if you look at the, Gina, where did you get that at? If you look at the Exodus, the Revelation thing, I don't even know where it was. They talk about the water turning into blood there too. There's plagues. It's going to repeat. Is what's going to happen. A repeat. And scorched earth, dry earth, heat wave, massive heat wave. It's going to destroy crops, it said. Heat wave crops, it's going to destroy it. U.S. wheat crops in danger from increasing heat waves. And heat coming up from the ground, too. So our sky is white this morning. Look, India heat wave, the crops are destroyed. They destroyed the crops, the food supply. Scorching heat wave, damaging the crops. Now it's killing the cattle. It's killing the cattle, you all. That's 2022. Gina, can you get with it? Can you get right? Yeah, I can do it right here. Boom. There we go. We did it. Increasing heat waves threatens the wheat. The wheat. A quart of wheat for a day's wages and 3 quarts of barley for a day's wages, and do not touch the oil or the wine. Do not touch it. It's like in the time of Joseph in Egypt. There was a famine in the land, 7 years. And before that came, he gathered up all the wheat and put it in the storehouses. And then his brothers had to come and people get their wheat from Egypt. Doesn't that sound interesting? Get their wheat from Pharaoh, the god, more or less, that entity. It's, and in China too, you are, how coincidental. Extreme weather poses threat to wheat crops in U.S. and China. So it's going to be all around the world. Look, the farm animals are and the crops are suffering, threatened by unprecedented heat. Unprecedented. The world's wheat supply at risk of shock. Yeah. I would, that's corn too. Dryness, widespread. It's like the Dust Bowl. It cycles. The Dust Bowl, how it just literally, it was all destroyed. You couldn't plant nothing no more. Oh, Bethany, honey, you got to go to work. Okay. Yes, that's right. They cooking up from the inside. What is cooking up from the inside? Tamra, honey. Oh my gosh. It's going to happen to the humans too. It's like you're stuck in a microwave. How you heat the food up on the inside. Starts heating up like that, inside out. It's like we're stuck in a big microwave and the animals are stuck in one too. The heat from below. Like Vonda said in her comment, heat's coming from the ground. Heat coming from the ground. And how can that be possible? Really think about it. Geothermal heat a few feet below the surface. Look. Geothermal technology. Oh, harness the Earth's heat. Certainly, we would not want to harness the Earth's heat from below, right? And blast it from above. Certainly not. Oh. Certainly, we don't have geothermal heating and cooling technologies at the U.S. EPA. We wouldn't have that. What causes? Can you extract the heat from the ground? 3 disadvantages of geothermal. Well, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Do you want to cause a heat wave? Do you want to do it? Do you? Yeah, you do. You want to do it. That's okay. It's not okay, you all. It's not okay. Underground, Nika. Yeah. We just got to get ready. Right there. It's got to be strong on the inside. You are really, really strong. And there's signs all around. And you could be having dreams. You could be seeing all kinds of things that's trying to get your attention. If you're paying attention. And if you are, then that's good because you'll prepare. Because we need to. There's no telling what's going to happen. And it's back to back. And this one video about something coming. Let's see if I got it. I get myself in trouble. That's okay. I'd rather get in trouble for speaking up, telling the truth, than to get in trouble for telling a lie. How about that? If I'm going to stand up, it's going to be for a good cause and not for a bad cause. That's right. This video, let me see if I can get to it, if they'll let me get to it right here. How it's coming. It has something to say because it's coming. And what I gathered, I would encourage you to watch this video. What I gathered, what is out there is like waiting, but it has to permeate. This entity, this energy, it has to permeate its way. It has to permeate itself until it's in everything like that. And it is occurring right now. It's occurring, especially if you look at some of the comments under that video alone. After I did that video, then I said, don't worry about me. I'll be fine, because of that video, the attacks that came from that video and the previous other videos about the aliens. It is spiritual attacks. This is a follow-up from that video. And then this is a follow-up from the 2 videos, because we're in trouble. Critical thinking is out the door now. Listening skills, they're gone. They're gone. It's the dumbing down of society. Dumbing down. There was a comment under there in Africa, South Africa, the graduation or the literacy rate is 30%. 30%, more or less. You read it. Read it in there. It's a full-scale attack. And we got plagues coming. Plagues are coming, and we're being hit all around. And who's responsible for the plagues? Well, I know who's responsible for causing this heat coming up out of the ground. That's right. They're harnessing the technology, and there's something 7 layers under the ground. Layers. Aliens. 7 levels. Ground. In the tunnels. If they're down there, which they are, they're down there in those holes under the ground. Hold on to it, you all. If you watch the one video on the aliens, on the story time with Gina, you'll see the different levels. They went down. Inside the earth, and CERN is inside the earth too, you all. The technology is all inside the earth. So, it's all right. I'm done talking. I talk too much at times. I do. And the heat's coming from the ground. And we're going to have the crops are not going to stand a chance. They're not. It'll come from above and it'll come from below. Extreme heat. And Canada's having fires, and some of them look deliberate. The animals look. Carp living. Look, they killed the carp. Living in the rice paddies in China. There's the fish too. And you know how they fertilize those things. Wow. Wheat supply. Damaging it, dangerous. Just go ahead and crack the earth open. Put big cracks into the earth. Destroy the crops. Starve the people till all they have left is to eat is the cicadas and or locusts or all these other insects that will come out, because that's all that remains. Yeah. Why is the purpose, Nikita? For what? For everything? I think it's quite evident. It's a spiritual thing. It's a power thing. It's a power grab. It's all about power. But the plagues are coming, and it seems like the plagues that were in the book of Exodus, that were given by God, the water into blood, are going to be the same ones that come in the book of Revelation too. The water into blood, the water becomes bitter, and you have wormwood and all that kind of stuff, and the boils breaking out on the people, painful sores on the people who took the mark. Yeah, I'm going to go. I am. Hopefully we won't have 7 videos today. I don't think we will. We won't. I don't think we will at all. So I'm going to go. And with that being said, thank you for your comments, you all. It's not time for the cicadas yet, but there's holes popping up all over the United States. They even said there were certain areas. Go down through the comment sections. They threw her comment in held for review 3 times. Every time she commented, the Google algorithm They don't, something about you, Vonda, they don't like. They don't like your spirit, Vonda. Gina Honey likes your spirit. Yeah, they don't like it. Just go down through here, you all. They started seeing them in around winter time. Same thing, just like you're saying. I lived here my whole life. Never seen the holes in your front yard. My mother started getting them in her yard too. Well, cicadas don't do that in the winter. Go outside every day, several times a day, and one more in front. Started hearing digging sound. I hope it's nothing like the movie The Tremors. These massive things coming up out of the ground. Well, anything could come out of the ground. You just don't know. You really don't know. And I'm being serious. You got to be prepared for everything, and hope you don't see everything. I'm going to go. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you all. Thank you for your comments. And check out all those 7 videos yesterday and late last night. Yeah. Thank you, Apple Brooks Honey. Yeah, good. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, you all. Love you.